In the evolving geopolitical landscape, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has made significant strides in addressing the persistent challenges in the Middle East, particularly regarding the governance of Gaza. During a recent conversation with Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh, Shoukry, Rubio underscored the urgent necessity for Egypt to prevent Hamas from regaining control over Gaza. His remarks reflect a broader strategy by the United States aimed at stabilizing the region and ensuring that humanitarian efforts can proceed unimpeded. Rubio's discussion with Shoukry took place amidst heightened tensions following a series of violent escalations in Gaza, which have left the region's infrastructure devastated and its civilian population in dire need of aid. The Secretary of State expressed his concerns by stating, "We cannot afford to see Hamas return to power. Their governance has previously led to suffering for both Palestinians and Israelis." This statement encapsulates a growing consensus among U.S. policymakers that the reassertion of Hamas could exacerbate the humanitarian crisis and destabilize the already fragile peace in the region. The backdrop of this dialogue is significant as the U.S. has recently implemented a waiver for humanitarian aid to Gaza, allowing critical supplies to flow into the area despite a freeze on broader foreign aid. This policy shift comes at a time when the international community is grappling with the complexities of providing support while navigating the geopolitical ramifications of aid distribution. Rubio emphasized the importance of ensuring that aid reaches those most in need without empowering Hamas, stating, "We must be strategic in our efforts to assist the people of Gaza while ensuring that our support does not inadvertently bolster terrorist factions." The implications of Rubio's statements and the U.S. approach are profound, including the ability of Egypt to manage the delicate balance of power in Gaza and the responsiveness of the international community to the humanitarian needs of the Palestinian people. As discussions continue, the U.S. will likely maintain a close watch on developments, ready to adapt its policies in response to evolving circumstances. In conclusion, Secretary Rubio's engagement with Egypt highlights a critical juncture in U.S. foreign policy concerning the Middle East. The focus on curtailing Hamas's influence while facilitating humanitarian aid reflects an intricate balancing act that the U.S. must navigate to foster stability in the region. As the situation unfolds, the international community will be observing closely, aware that the stakes have never been higher for both immediate humanitarian relief and long-term peace in the region. In a significant development within the military and political landscape, former President Donald Trump's staunch ally, Pete Hegseth, has taken decisive action against General Mark Milley, the recently retired chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This unfolding situation underscores the ongoing tensions between Trump loyalists and military leadership, particularly in the aftermath of Milley's controversial tenure during the Trump administration. On January 29, 2025, it was reported that Milley would have his security detail and security clearance revoked immediately, a move that Hegseth reportedly communicated directly to Milley himself. This announcement has sparked widespread discussion and concern regarding the implications for military leadership and civilian-military relations in the United States. Hegseth, known for his outspoken support of Trump and criticism of military leaders who appear to diverge from the former president's ideology, characterized the decision as a necessary step toward accountability. "It's time for those who have undermined the presidency to face the consequences of their actions," Hegseth stated, emphasizing the belief among some conservatives that Milley acted inappropriately during pivotal moments of the Trump administration. The decision to strip Milley of his security privileges is not merely symbolic, it reflects a broader trend of increasing polarization within the ranks of the military and its relationship with political figures. General Milley has faced significant scrutiny, particularly for his actions surrounding the January 6 insurrection and his perceived willingness to engage with Congress in matters that some view as politically charged. Critics have labeled his approach as a departure from traditional military neutrality, arguing that such behavior undermines the apolitical stance that is foundational to American military ethos. Furthermore, the potential for Milley to face a demotion upon retirement adds another layer of complexity to the situation. The Pentagon has indicated that this is a possibility. further fueling speculation about the future of military leadership amid political strife. This action could set a precedent for how military officials are treated post-service based on their perceived alignment with political narratives, raising concerns about the integrity and independence of military leadership. As the story continues to develop, the ramifications of Hegseth's actions are yet to be fully understood. Some military analysts suggest that this could deepen the divide between Trump supporters and traditional military leadership, potentially affecting recruitment and morale within the armed forces. Others warn that such political maneuvering may deter capable leaders from stepping forward for fear of political retribution. Looking ahead, the ongoing tensions between political figures and military leadership are likely to shape future discussions on military policy and governance. As the political landscape evolves, the implications of these actions will resonate throughout the defense community and could influence the trajectory of U.S. military relations both domestically and internationally. The unfolding events emphasize the critical need for dialogue and understanding between military leaders and civilian political figures, particularly in a time when national security is of utmost importance. In a highly anticipated confirmation hearing, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the controversial nominee for Health Secretary, faced intense scrutiny from lawmakers as he struggled to articulate his positions on crucial healthcare topics such as Medicare and Medicaid. The hearing, held on January 29, 2025, highlighted not only Kennedy's challenges in addressing critical policy issues but also the significant public interest surrounding his nomination amid ongoing protests and vocal opposition. Kennedy's responses at the Senate hearing raised eyebrows, particularly when it came to his understanding of Medicare and Medicaid, two vital programs that provide healthcare services to millions of Americans. According to reports, when pressed by senators about the specifics of these programs, Kennedy appeared to falter, prompting concerns about his preparedness for the role. "It's vital that our next health secretary has a firm grasp of these programs," noted Senator Maria Cantwell during the session. "The American people deserve leadership that can navigate these complex issues effectively." The hearing was punctuated by demonstrations from healthcare advocates and protesters who expressed their dissatisfaction with Kennedy's controversial history, particularly his stance on vaccines. These protests served as a backdrop to the session, emphasizing the deep divisions within the public regarding his nomination. Kennedy has been a polarizing figure, often criticized for his views that challenge established scientific consensus, particularly in the realm of public health. As he defended his position on vaccines, he stated, "I believe in informed choice and that parents should have the right to make decisions about their children's health." This assertion, however, did little to quell the concerns of critics who view his stance as a potential threat to public health. Adding to the drama of the day, Caroline Kennedy, Robert's cousin, issued a searing letter warning about his nomination. In a video accompanying the letter, she characterized him as a predator who poses risks not only to public health but also to the integrity of government institutions. Her statements reflect a broader apprehension among some segments of the Kennedy family and the public regarding the implications of his leadership in a critical government role. As the hearing unfolded, it became increasingly clear that Kennedy's nomination might hinge not only on his ability to effectively communicate his policies but also on the public's response to his controversial past. The Senate's decision on his confirmation is expected to be contentious, with many lawmakers poised to weigh the potential implications of his leadership against the backdrop of a divided electorate. Looking ahead, the outcome of this confirmation process could have significant ramifications for public health policy in the United States. Should Kennedy be confirmed, his administration could usher in a new era of healthcare policy that prioritizes personal choice, potentially reshaping the landscape of public health initiatives. Conversely, if he is rejected, it may signal a rejection of the ideological divisions that have come to characterize contemporary healthcare debates. As the nation watches closely, the future of healthcare leadership remains uncertain. With the potential for significant shifts in policy direction and public trust in the health system at stake, in a significant step for the administration of former President Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, the nominee for Attorney General, has successfully cleared a key Senate committee vote. This development, which showcases the ongoing influence of Trump within Republican circles, was marked by a party-line decision that underscores the polarized nature of contemporary American politics. Bondi, who previously served as Florida's Attorney General, garnered approval from the Senate Judiciary Committee amidst a backdrop of partisan division. The committee's vote, which saw Republicans supporting her nomination while Democrats opposed it, reflects the broader ideological rifts that characterize the current political landscape. This approval is a crucial milestone in Bondi's path toward confirmation, as she awaits a full Senate vote that could solidify her position as the top law enforcement officer in the country. During her confirmation hearings, Bondi faced scrutiny regarding her past actions as Attorney General, particularly her handling of consumer protection cases and her connections to the Trump administration. "I will uphold the rule of law and serve the public interest," Bondi stated, emphasizing her commitment to justice amid the criticisms directed at her. Supporters have lauded her for her experience and assertive approach to law enforcement, while detractors have raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest and her alignment with Trump's controversial policies. The Senate panel's decision comes not only as a reflection of Bondi's qualifications but also as a strategic move within the Republican Party to consolidate power and influence in the wake of Trump's presidency. Analysts suggest that her confirmation could pave the way for a more aggressive legal stance on issues such as immigration and crime, aligning with Trump's hardline policies. As Bondi's nomination heads to the Senate floor, her supporters are optimistic about her chances of confirmation, citing her legal expertise and her ability to navigate complex legal challenges. Meanwhile, critics remain vigilant, prepared to challenge her nomination based on her past decisions and affiliations. Looking ahead, Bondi's potential confirmation could have far-reaching implications for U.S. legal policy and the enforcement of federal laws. Should she take office, her leadership will likely reflect the contentious and polarized environment that has come to define American governance. The outcome of this nomination battle will not only impact the Department of Justice but will also signal the direction of the Republican Party as it continues to grapple with its identity in a post-Trump era. In a significant move that has stirred both political and economic discussions, the U.S. Senate has confirmed Scott Bessent as Treasury Secretary under the Trump administration. This appointment comes at a time when the nation grapples with various economic challenges, and Bessent's proposed policies are already drawing attention for their potential impact on trade and revenue generation. Bessent, previously known for his tenure in high-stakes financial roles, is advocating for a universal 2.5% tariff plan aimed at imports. This initiative is designed to incrementally increase each month, a strategy that he argues will bolster domestic industries while simultaneously addressing trade imbalances. This is a necessary step to protect American jobs and level the playing field in international trade, Bessent stated during his confirmation hearings. Observers note that while such tariffs could provide immediate financial relief for some sectors, they may also lead to retaliatory measures from trade partners and an increase in consumer prices. The confirmation of Bessent comes amidst a backdrop of heightened tensions in U.S. trade relations, particularly with China and the European Union. The proposed tariff plan has sparked a mix of enthusiasm and skepticism among economists and trade experts. Proponents assert that it could lead to a resurgence of American manufacturing and reduce dependency on foreign goods. However, critics warn that the escalating tariffs could ignite a trade war, ultimately harming American consumers and businesses reliant on imported materials. In a related development, concerns for Bessent's safety have emerged following reports of a planned attack against him and Fox News host Pete Hegseth. Authorities revealed that a man intended to use Molotov cocktails in a violent act against the two, highlighting the increasingly polarized political climate in the U.S. This alarming incident underscores not just the contentious nature of contemporary politics but also the potential personal risks faced by public figures in the current environment.
As Besson steps into his role, his strategies and decisions will undoubtedly be closely scrutinized.
His proposed tariff plan, if enacted, will mark a significant shift in U.S. trade policy,
with repercussions that could ripple through the economy. The coming months will be crucial as Besson navigates the complexities of his office and attempts to implement his vision amid growing political tensions and economic uncertainties.
Looking ahead, the implications of Besson's policies will be pivotal not only in shaping economic discourse but also in influencing the broader geopolitical landscape. The administration's approach to trade and domestic economic policy will be tested, and how Besson manages these challenges could set the tone for the United States' economic trajectory in the coming years. In a pivotal moment for the Biden administration, Howard Lutnick, the nominee for Secretary of Commerce, faced rigorous questioning during his Senate confirmation hearing on January 29, 2025. This hearing not only tested Lutnick's qualifications but also illuminated the contentious landscape of U.S. commerce policy amid rising economic challenges. As the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, Lutnick's extensive background in finance and trading places him at the intersection of private enterprise and public policy, raising both hopes and concerns among lawmakers. Lutnick's testimony revealed his commitment to divest from his business interests within 90 days should he be confirmed. This pledge aims to mitigate potential conflicts of interest, a concern that has shadowed many high-profile nominees in recent years. "I believe it is imperative to separate my business from my public service," Lutnick stated, emphasizing his understanding of the responsibilities that come with the role. His assurance resonates in a political climate increasingly wary of the intertwining of personal wealth and public office. As discussions progressed, Lutnick outlined his vision for U.S. trade policy, advocating for a system of tariffs that would be uniformly applied across countries rather than selectively targeting specific nations. "We need to adopt a fair approach that holds all trading partners accountable," he asserted, indicating a shift towards a more holistic stance on international trade. This proposal aligns with broader economic strategies aimed at addressing trade imbalances and fostering a competitive domestic market. Lutnick's nomination and subsequent hearing come at a time when the Senate is also considering other significant appointments, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and former Senator Kelly Loeffler. The atmosphere in the chamber was charged, with senators keen to scrutinize Lutnick's past business dealings and their implications for his potential role in shaping U.S. economic policy. Critics have raised concerns about his connections to Wall Street and the potential for biased decision-making that could favor corporate interests over national priorities. The Senate confirmation hearing underscored the complexities inherent in Lutnick's candidacy, particularly as it relates to the broader economic landscape. With inflationary pressures and supply chain disruptions still affecting many sectors, Lutnick's approach to commerce could have profound implications for American businesses and consumers alike. His ability to navigate these challenges while rebuilding trust between the government and the private sector will be crucial in determining the effectiveness of his tenure. Looking ahead, the outcome of Lutnick's confirmation will not only influence the trajectory of U.S. commerce policy but also set the tone for how future nominees address conflicts of interest and transparency in government. As the Senate deliberates, the business community and policymakers alike will be watching closely, eager to see how Lutnick's strategies will unfold in a rapidly evolving economic environment. The coming weeks will be pivotal as the administration seeks to solidify its leadership in commerce while grappling with the ongoing challenges of a complex global economy.